Hello, my name is Harold Frazier. I'm chairman of the Cheyenne River Sioux Tribe, and just wanted to give everybody a quick update of a meeting that I went to yesterday. Yesterday I was out in Rapid City, and I met with several of the tribal chairmen within the Sioux Nation. And one of the issues that brought us all together yesterday was recently the Indian Health Service took money from our hospital and clinics funding, and they took that money and to pay for a contract that they have with a company called AB Staffing, and the amount that they took from the Cheyenne River Sioux Tribe is $4.1 million, and they took this funding without any type of consultation or even a phone call, asking if we didn't need the funding, that they were going to use it. So it's that's a lot of money, and we got a lot of high health needs, so it's a big priority of ours. So met with the other tribes, and some of the other tribes that were affected was Sisseton Wahpeton tribe. They had $2.2 million taken from them. The Ogallala Sioux tribe, I believe, had $3 million, and Rosebud had $2.5 million. And when I talked to the area office, they told me that the area director had the authority and the flexibility to use hospital and clinics monies, and he could move them and transfer them to where he's seen fit. So that is why they looked at our monies and them line items in our budget. So yesterday we discussed some strategies, how we're going to deal with them. I mean, obviously one of them is going to court, due to the fact that none of us were consulted. We also talked and trying to figure out some other possibilities how we could try to recover that money. Myself, I personally, we already written a letter to Indian Health Service objecting to it. They responded back with a letter that really didn't say. Basically, it just said that they had authority to take this funding and that they took it to pay for some contracts within the area. So it's a big issue and something that we'll continue to work on and try to get back. The other thing also too from our meeting, that we've written a letter to Senator Hoven, who is the chairman of the Indian Affairs Committee, and we requested a field hearing on the Indian Health Service in our area. So hopefully, that gets granted for us, and we'll be able to tell Congress our issues in dealing with the Indian Health Service. So that's one of the things that that we met and we discussed. Another thing is, our lawyers gave a update on the Dakota Access Pipeline, the progress or the status of our case. And that's something I believe that I already put out on my Facebook, a written report of what's happening with the Dakota Access Pipeline court proceedings. Also, too, I believe we put out a memo on the test hole that is being conducted in Phillip, where potentially it could be a nuclear waste dump site. And one of the things that is a huge concern of ours is that it's only 8 miles from our southern border of the Cheyenne River. So it's a big issue, big concern. As far as the Phillip, the test hole, we'll be drafting comments and submitting them for the record. These comments are due April 14th is the deadline of this year, so we'll be working on that. We're also in the process of council passing a resolution opposing it. I believe Ogallala Sioux Tribe have already passed a resolution opposing these test holes. The other thing that we talked about is the XL pipeline, Keystone. And I believe, and it's already out in the media, that the State Department is going to be granting and approving the permits for that. I believe Monday is the deadline to submit comments to the State Department. So our lawyer is going to be working this weekend in the Cheyenne River Sioux Tribe. We'll have our comments submitted by Monday. Yankton Sioux Tribe, I believe, reported to us that they have already submitted their comments, so that was a good job as far as Yankton. One of the things is relating to Keystone, that we've submitted comments prior in the South Dakota State PUC. However, they did grant the permit, so we, the Cheyenne River Sioux Tribe, in conjunction with our friends, we've filed an appeal, and the state judge and state court heard our arguments or comments, and he hasn't made a ruling yet, so that's something that he's going to be making a ruling. I believe at that time that we'll probably take it back to our tribal council and see if they want to appeal it up to the Supreme Court of South Dakota. But I believe that come Monday, a lot of actions are going to be taking place about Keystone. So after Monday, we'll probably have I'll have a visit with our lawyers and with the various council to come up with strategies on what to do next. But our lawyers are monitoring. Of course, everybody's watching it, and we will be strongly doing all we can to fight this pipeline. Another issue is the Dewey Burdock uranium mining that's going on near Edgemont. One of the things that we found out that they're going to be fracking in that area to take uranium out. Of course, that's a big issue about fracking, and major concern is what are we going to do with the wastewater? How's that going to be handled? So we are very alarmed by this project. One of the things that was reported in a meeting by Chairman Scott Weston of Ogallala is that they are currently, their tribe is developing a lawsuit. They're going to be sharing their documents with the rest of our tribes. We'll be reviewing them, and we'll take it back to council, see what they want to do, how we should proceed on fighting that project. Also, too, I understand that there's comments due to the EPA, and that's May 19th of this year. That's when all the comments the closing of the comments is May 19th. So we, the Cheyenne River Sioux Tribe, obviously we're working on that to get prepared and to comment, and obviously we object to it, to that uranium mining project. One of the things too that we talked about was the Secretary of Interior, Zinke, is going to be putting out a Federal Register talking about restructuring of agencies. And a few years back, I believe in 2014, the Cheyenne River Sioux Tribe filed a lawsuit with the Bureau of Indian Education objecting to the realignment, or not only the realignment, but the revamping of the education, the BIA, and we were successful. So right now in the Dakotas, no movement has happened, but they did close down our education line office here on Cheyenne River, and that's something that it's a big need here for our schools, because currently right now, if we have any issues to deal with the Bureau of Indian Affairs schools, we have to contact people down in Albuquerque. And in our grant schools, if we have any issues, we have to be in contact with people in Minneapolis. And whereas prior to this realignment, we used to have the authorities right here on the reservation. So it's a big issue, and we have drafted we have a plan that would, how a restructure would benefit not only the Cheyenne River Sioux Tribe, but our entire region in the Great Plains area. So that's something that today I met with our education committee. The committee passed the plan. It's going to go on to our tribal council, and then hopefully it passes, and I intend to take this plan on to the Great Plains Tribal Chairmen's Association, and then on into Congress, and also submit it. But there are other agencies that we have concerns with, and one that's jumping out at me right now is law enforcement, and that's something that we'll be working on, is coming up with a plan how to restructure the BIA law enforcement that will benefit us here at home. So that's something that'll be coming down. But that's kind of a trip report that I want to give to you for my meetings yesterday. Next week I'll be traveling to Sisseton for a consultation on for Veterans Memorial, and on Wednesday I'll be in Pierre meeting with Governor Dugard on Senate Bill 176, which is now law, and it was his version of dealing with what he terms protesters. So, but I will give an update next week and give you a report on my trips to Sisseton Pier. So with that, I wish you all a good weekend, and I thank you a lot for listening. So thanks.